Hi, Vijay Mistry here, CEO and founder of Renter Director, author of 7 world-class corporate training programs which have been awarded a green light status from the UK Trade and Investment. My purpose is to see you become a world-class leader, entrepreneur, director, executive and manager, as well as help you scale up your business. Now, my dear friends, in this video, I would like to share with you the 5 signs of a weak leader. Now, these are from practical insights and from practical examples which I have come across in some leaders which I would like to share with you. So, first and foremost is chained. Now, what do I really mean by chained? Now, let me give you this practical example. So, there was a CEO of this manufacturing organization who had about 7-8 executives at that executive level, and they had about 150 employees. Here's what was happening, is that this particular CEO was heavily reliant on only 1 or 2 of the executives, rather than getting insights from all the other executives and making those impactful decisions. And the danger here is that he was just listening to 2 of them, which was a complete bias. It was completely like a one-sided discussion. And this is one of the key dangers I have noted in leaders. So you have to be very careful. As a leader, you have to ensure that you embrace and have that diversification in thinking to help you to grow your business. Let's move to the next point, which is equally important, and that is eyes off systems. There was one particular head of a profit and loss center, and she was so engrossed and focused into the money-making recipe of her profit center that she did not pay too much attention to the systems in the organization. And here's what really happened. She started getting feedback that everything was fine. It was basically sugar-coated feedback that she was getting, rather than the blunt truth and the reality of what was really happening. And that led to the downfall of that particular profit center. So as a leader, you need to make sure that you have your eyes on everything. You have to ensure that you understand your pipeline and you understand what is happening at all levels, and ensuring that you have the right policies in place, the right procedures in place, the right feedback mechanisms in place, and the right checks to ensure that at certain points you may need to revisit your systems to make sure that they are still sound. So that is very important. Let's move to the next point, which is equally important, and that is disengaged. So there was an engineering company and they had about 70-80 employees. And here's what was really happening is, as a leader, this particular CEO was the owner of that particular business. He was disengaged with the different departments in his particular business. And here's what was happening is that productivity started hampering and the business started struggling because of that productivity level. And the reason is that he did not have that visibility from 50,000 feet to 50 feet. So it's very important as a leader to ensure that you have complete visibility, and when you reach certain milestones, celebrate and appreciate what your team members have done and have that engagement in place, because engagement is going to lead to impact, and impact is going to lead to breakthroughs, which will eventually lead to accelerated growth for your business. Let's move to the next point, which is equally important, and that is profit focused. Now, this is absolutely common in many organizations, having that pressure of making profits in the short term, whether it's a quarterly report or whether it's a half-yearly report or a yearly report. It's all about the profits and the bottom line profits of what is being made. Yet the danger here is that many leaders do not see the long term as to what is really happening. There was one managing director I was speaking to, and he said, look, I'm very happy just having a management meeting every single month. Now, what he was really looking at is the short-sightedness of what was happening internally as well as externally in his business. But here's where the danger was, is that he was not linking short-term to medium-term and long-term. So here's a suggestion. is that you need to step back and have a brainstorming session every 4 weeks, which would be more of a governance brainstorming session where you link short term to the mid and long term. And here's what's going to happen. You will start making decisions based on a different level of mindset, because then your intentions are completely aligned, your values are in place, and you can easily link your vision and purpose to your results. So that is very important. And the final point I would like to share with you is influence. Now, let me give you an example here. So there was a CEO who was again an owner. It was a family business, and here's what was happening is that he had about 5 or 6 executives. It was a small to mid-sized organization, and there were about 5 or 6 executives. But here's the thing is that when they were having these meetings, he did not have any influence. It was like the meeting was taken over by the other executives, and they were going off tangent, and the meeting was becoming meaningless rather than having the effectiveness and the assertion needed from a leader to ensure that it is steered in the right direction. And what was really happening is the executives were losing that respect and the recognition of this particular leader as well, which is a very dangerous place for a leader to be. Now, in order for you to have the influence, what do you need? You need to ensure that you make impact. And impact comes when you have the confidence in place. And confidence comes when you have the competence in place. So it's very important to ensure that you are relevant, you're completely switched on as to what's happening in your organization and how to link to long term with short term, like I mentioned, and ensuring that you're assertive enough to make certain decisions and steering the meetings to be highly productive. So this is very important to ensure that you translate your vision into reality. That is what an effective leader should do. So my dear friends, I hope you found this particular video on the 5 signs of a weak leader insightful. I look forward to sharing with you more growth-driven insights to help you become a world-class leader, entrepreneur, executive, director, and manager, as well as scale up your business faster. Thank you very much. Bye for now.